Good morning. I'm doing an experiment because when I do a Facebook, YouTube Live, they both come up at the same time, but one of them is delayed, and I'm trying to figure out which one is delayed to try and fix the technical difficulty with it. Anyways, that's why I was counting. Today is Thursday, November 11th, and it's Veterans Day. It's a holiday that we celebrate veterans of our armed services in the United States. And today, in honor of our veterans and our war heroes and those that have passed on, I'm going to read some scriptures that talks to the strengths and the abilities and applies to veterans and also us. John chapter 15, verse 13 says, "Greater love has no one has than this, to lay down one's life for one's friends." And there are veterans that walk among us, and there are some that don't, that have experienced this personally. And with all the wars and all the traumas, all the wars that we've had recently, it's caused a lot of traumas, it affects veterans. It affects people that go through traumas. And so remember to pray for a veteran today. Remember to pray and remember their sacrifices. Because as Jesus said, no greater love. And I think that's exemplified in veterans and our armed forces. Joshua chapter 1 verse 9 says, "Have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged, for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go." Great verse for veterans. Great verse for soldiers, but you know what? It's a great verse for us in living life. Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged. You know, I probably get more discouraged than I get being afraid. But the promise of God is this: for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go. Wherever you go. So why be afraid? Why be discouraged? And then finally, Psalm 27, verses 1 through 4 and verse 14. "The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? The Lord is the stronghold of my life. Of whom shall I be afraid? When the wicked advance against me to devour me, it is my enemies and my foes who will stumble and fall. Though an army besiege me, my heart will not fear. Though war break out against me, even then I will be confident. One thing I ask from the Lord, this only do I seek, that I may dwell in the house of the Lord all the days of my life, to gaze on the beauty of the Lord and to seek him in his temple." Wait for the Lord, be strong, and take heart, and wait for the Lord. King David wrote this psalm, and it was true for him, it was true for the Israelite people, it is true for us. The Lord is our light and our salvation. So whom shall we fear? And the Lord is the stronghold of our life. Of whom shall I be afraid? Great verse for soldiers, veterans, and us as well. And I'm with King David where he says, "One thing I ask for the Lord, this only do I seek, that I may dwell in the house of the Lord forever." One of the Psalms talks about being a gatekeeper. I'd be happy being a gatekeeper in the house of the Lord. But I'd love to live in the house of the Lord. And so It's a good verse for our veterans who have served through the wars, through the traumas, through the unspeakable things that they've seen. They can trust in the Lord. We can trust in the Lord. And as it says in verse 14, we need to wait for the Lord, be strong, and take heart, and wait for the Lord. Twice it's emphasized in verse 14, waiting for the Lord. That's a promise for us. God is coming. God is going to change things. The world is not going to be the way we see it now. It's going to be better. And God is going to make it that way through Jesus. All we need to do is trust in Him, have faith in Jesus, and wait for the Lord. Have a great Thursday, and we'll talk to you later.